Hello, everybody. My name is Ryan Slomka, and welcome to Philosophy. Up here on the screen, you can see that my email address is up there as well, in case you need to ask any questions or reach out in any kind of way. I'm really excited that you're here. I'm really excited to be talking about this very unique and interesting social studies topic with you and your students this semester. A little bit about me. I graduated from Michigan State University. I have a bachelor's degree in mathematics, and I have a master's degree in curriculum with a focus in technology. I typically teach a lot of math classes like geometry and algebra 1. This year I'm teaching a whole bunch of geometry, but I also really love it when I get to teach some of these social studies classes. Typically I usually teach a sociology class or two, but this year I have been blessed with the chance to teach philosophy as well. So I'm really excited about that. When I'm not at Stony Creek High School, I like to spend a lot of time with my family. And so you can see a couple pictures of me and my kids here. We like riding bikes, we like to fix things, and we like exploring. We got to go on a couple of fun vacations and explore some different parts of the United States this summer. And we're definitely going to go explore some of those wintertime fun things this winter as well, find all the good snow spots. In these pictures, you can see my daughter Sophie. She went rock climbing for the first time. There's my son Shepard. We had a water balloon fight. You can see right there that we've got our ski gear on at Pine Knob. We go skiing every week because I am the ski and snowboard club coordinator for Stony Creek High School. And then down there in the very corner, you can see one of my least favorite things, which is drywall on a bathroom that I was remodeling over the summer. As far as philosophy is concerned, philosophy is a crazy and unique course. It is very different from some of your other ones. Almost everything applies to philosophy, and yet philosophy is unlike a lot of things. There are a bunch of different ways that you could teach philosophy as well, but here's kind of my mantra. My goal for the course is to have our philosophy course be like an everyday philosophy course, which means that I want the course to be applicable to your student. And the way that we're going to make it applicable to your student is we're going to help cultivate those critical thinking skills that exist within all of us. So we're going to be thinking and analyzing and discussing and debating some ideas, things that are occurring now or things that have occurred in the past or things that might occur in the future. And we're going to also think about introducing some of those big questions. Why are we here? How did we get here? What is it like to be here? How do we know if we're being good or if we're being bad? What should happen next? All of those types of big questions are parts that have swirled around philosophy for centuries, and they haven't really gotten any great resolutions, but we're going to discuss them some more, and maybe we can come up with some great resolutions on our own. Also going to provide some insight into tools that will benefit students as they move through their lives. Unfortunately, high school is a short portion of time in a person's life. If you're a high school student, it might seem like it's taking forever, but for everybody else, it's only short. And so when you move past high school, having those critical thinking skills, being able to analyze a situation, being able to create a valid and logical argument and support that argument are all really key things in your daily life. Whether you be a college student, an apprentice, an officer in the military, or any other type of thing that's going to take up your time when you're an adult, having those skills is going to be really important. And philosophy is a great way to kind of refine them or build them in the first place. So there are plenty of old philosophers. We could talk about ancient Greeks or Renaissance philosophers. There's Sartre and Kant and Aristotle. And Russell. There's so many different people that we can talk about, and we could read history, and we could read the Republic, but I don't necessarily want to go about the course in that way. I would like to keep it a little bit more relevant to what's happening today, a little bit more relevant to what is happening in a 16, 17, 18-year-old's life, so that it doesn't feel so stuffy or ancient. As far as on a daily basis, here are some of the things that we're going to be making sure that we do. Typically, so far, we've been starting our days off with a question of the day, and hopefully that kind of gets things kind of flowing a little bit more easily, usually a little bit lighter of a question. There'll be times for some guided notes. There'll be times for small group activities, definitely time for projects with group presentations, plenty of pop culture analysis. Once again, we're trying to keep it current. Guest speakers are always important to my social studies curriculum, so I always want to make sure I bring in some guest speakers. And then lastly, scholarly articles we will visit from time to time. Out of all the things in the list, though, the thing that I think is the most important is the discussion and debate. It is critical that when we're in a philosophy classroom that we experience discussion and debate, and that we're not simply sitting back and auditing what other people are saying. That is not going to be the very best choice. Philosophers are not people who complete philosophy. It's not like, oh, I've done it all, there's no more else to do, I can now retire. Philosophers are people that are doing philosophy, and they're doing it because there is no true final answer. The big questions that I had mentioned earlier are questions that have existed since ancient Greek and Roman times, and they're still around today because we still don't know what the perfect answer is. And so discussing, debating, challenging one another is all part of the process. And so coming to philosophy class on a daily basis means you're coming and ready to show up, pipe up, and be part of that discussion. Lastly, right here, we've got our grading breakdown, and I'm using the same grading breakdown that I use in all of my social studies classes. We have three basic kind of criteria that we're going to use to determine a quarter grade. First one is assignments. They're going to be 25% of the student's grade, usually graded on a 1-point to 4-point scale. Assignments are very clearly laid out and then are just to be completed in the next day or so. I almost always give plenty of time in class to complete assignments. I'm not interested in having students spend tons and tons of time working on philosophy homework while they're at home. And next is assessments. Those will typically come in the form of short quizzes. And those short quizzes will be things that we'll have review days for as well beforehand. And we'll also review the same day as the quiz. And those will be 40% of your student's grade. And then lastly, projects and presentations. Projects and presentations are almost always started with some sort of student choice. And so they can pick a topic that they're interested in or a portion of that topic that they're interested in. And then they're going to be working together with a group or potentially individually. And then presentations are a really, really great way because they foster discussion and debate. And so we're definitely going to have plenty of presentations as well. And that will be 35%. The way that I see this and the way that I came up with these numbers is that I feel that assignments and projects and presentations are things that should be completed in class and that students have full control over. They'll know what the target is and they'll be able to hit that target for as much or as little as they're interested in. And that's going to represent 60% of their grade, which is more than half. Assessments are quizzes, so that might feel a bit more stressful. Yes, they will happen during class as well, but I once again give plenty of time for review. And that might be a little bit trickier for your student to master, but that means that more than half of their grade they are fully in control of, and then that last half is going to be the part that they're going to need to kind of provide a little bit more focus for. That might be the rare opportunity where they do need to spend some time working on philosophy outside of class. There is more to that syllabus and some of those breakdown pieces, and all of that information can be found in the Google Classroom or on Parent View. If at any point your student is struggling with philosophy, I believe that a conversation as short as 15 minutes or 10 minutes would be the most that they would need in order to kind of get themselves back on track. And I'd be happy to do that for them. If you're ever confused or about what we're happening in philosophy class, or you want to reach out, this email address is a great thing for students and for parents. And so I'm here for you and I'd be happy to discuss with you. This is my first time teaching philosophy, so I'm flexible. I am interested. I'm enthusiastic about the topic, and I want to involve lots of different characters in it. And so if you want to be one of those characters, I would love to have you. Thanks so much for your time, and I appreciate you stopping by to check out our new philosophy class.